Well, good morning, fourth grade. It's a beautiful day today. I can hear the birds chirping outside. I hope you had a wonderful spring break. I know we did. We did a lot of organizing. I'm sure my kids loved that part. We went hiking, we went on walks, bike rides, did a lot of baking, reading, but mostly we stayed home. I hope you had a chance to practice your math over spring break. I know I did, like I said, with baking and different things like that. But I especially hope that you got to practice your math yesterday because that was your assignment for yesterday. So today we're going to dive right in and we're going to talk about money. Okay, I have a $20 bill here and I'm going to pretend that I want to give an even amount to each of my 5 children. Now I know that I have 6 children, but I promise you, Brody does not care about money. Okay, so let's say I am going to give an even amount to each of my 5 children that can spend money. Okay, so do I just take this and rip it into 5 pieces? No, because then that will make this $20 bill useless. So let's say that I go get change from the bank and I want to give an even amount to each of my kids. Well, I could sit there and count it out, or I can use my skill of division, because we know how to divide, and find out how much each child is going to get so that I can properly ask the banker for the right amount of money or for the right bills. Okay, so dividing money is just like a regular division problem, except for the way that you write it. Okay, so I have $20 here divided by 5. Okay, so I'm going to divide it just like a regular number, but then I'm going to write it differently at the end. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say to myself is, how many times does 5 go into 2? Can you do it? Cannot. So we move to the next place. How many times does 5 go into 20? Okay, 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, 20 minus 20 is 0. Okay, I can bring down these zeros and keep dividing, but I can also look and say, okay, these are zeros. So I know that it's going to go in 0 times in both of those places. So I could just put 2 zeros up there, or I can keep bringing them down and it'll come out to zeros. Okay, so I'm gonna write 0, 0. All right, now is $20 divided by 5 400? It is not. Okay, so you need to remember this, because not just with dividing money, but also when we're dividing decimals, okay, because money is decimals, that is a decimal point, okay? When you divide a decimal or divide money, you have to have the decimal point in the same place in the dividend and in the quotient, okay? So you're just going to put it right above. Okay, you're going to line them up. And then you also need to remember the dollar sign. So, all right, so see, the decimal point is lined up right above the decimal point underneath. Okay, when I divide money, I usually put the decimal point there right from the beginning so I don't forget. Okay, so $20 divided by 5 is $4. So each person is going to get $4. Okay, so I know when I go to the bank, I need to ask for all ones, because if I asked for $5 bills, somebody's not getting one. Okay, so when you're dividing money, you're going to divide it just like a regular number, but you need to make sure that you put the decimal point in the answer. Okay, line it up with the decimal point in the dividend. All right, so let's look at the example. It says an 8-pack of mountain spring water is on sale for $2.48. What is the cost of each water bottle? Okay, so if you look at the top of page 392, you see $2, and then you see 40 cents in dimes, and then 8 cents in pennies. Okay, so that needs to be divided into 8 pieces. Okay, so like I said, you can't rip the dollars apart. So if you were to make change and you were to hand in the money for even amounts, okay, this is what the even amount would end up dividing into. So you have, it ends up being 31 cents a piece. Okay, so you have quarter, nickel, penny, quarter, nickel, penny, quarter, nickel, penny. Okay, you could have 3 dimes and a penny. Okay, 6 nickels and a penny. Okay, but that was using the least amount of coins, was quarter, nickel, penny. Okay, so, but you're not gonna sit there and figure that out like that. Just divide. Okay, so you have $2.48. That's $2.48. Okay, and you're going to divide it by 8. All right, so how many times does 8 go into 2? Can't do it. How many times does 8 go into 24? Okay, so even though it says $2.48, you're dividing it like a regular number. So when you see 2, 4, you're dividing it like 24. Okay, so 8 goes into 24 how many times? 3. Okay, so 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 24, 0. Bring down the 8. How many times does 8 go into 8? 1 time. 1 times 8, 8. 8 minus 8, 0. So you have 31 cents. Okay, you can't just put 31 is $2.48 divided by 38 cents divided by 8, $31. No. Okay, so you have to make sure that you put the decimal point lined up with the one in the dividend, and that makes it 31 cents. Okay, and of course, we always check our answers by multiplying. You do the opposite of what division is, which is multiplication. You multiply and you get the answer. All right, so for your homework, you're going to do practice A and B on page 393 odd. Okay, so you're not going to do the mixed review and test prep. You're going to do A and B odd. Okay, so those are, remember, regular division problems, but you have to make sure that you bring up the decimal point from the dividend to put it in the quotient, and don't forget your dollar sign. Okay, what if it's just cents, no dollars? Well, we saw that in the example. It's 31 cents is written dollar sign 0, because there's $0, 0.31, or you don't even have to put the 0. You can just put dollar sign 0.31. Okay, all right, so moving on to Wednesday. If you're feeling ambitious, you can read pages 394 and 395. I hope that you are. Okay, but we're going to move today to page 396. 396. You can tell this book was written a couple years ago, because how many of us really use CDs anymore? I'm sure some of us have CDs, like for the car or something like that, but not a lot of people have a big pile of CDs like that anymore. Okay, so this is a problem. I'm so sorry. This is a problem-solving strategy. You know, we do these every once in a while to make sure that we're not just learning, but we're also learning how to apply what we've learned and use it for regular life and to be able to solve problems in math and in life. All right, so how do you write a number sentence? Well, we have talked before that a number sentence is not the same as a sentence in language or in grammar, okay? It has different parts. It doesn't have nouns, pronouns. It has numbers and operations, and sometimes it has letters in it, okay? The letters are just another way of asking for what you don't know, okay? So you could say 6 divided by 3 equals blank, or you could say 6 divided by 3 equals n, okay? N standing for number that you don't know. Okay, some people like to use the letter X. I don't like to use the letter X because it looks too much like a multiplication sign, okay? So that is a number sentence. A number sentence has to have at least 2 numbers and an operation, okay? What's an operation? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, okay? And sometimes it's going to have a number to tell you, or the unknown, okay? It can have more than 2 numbers and more than 1 operation. For instance, remember the word or the acrostic PEMDAS, okay? If you have a number sentence using PEMDAS, if all the parts are in it, you would have parentheses, exponents. Remember, that's like squared to the 3rd power, 4th power, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so that would be a pretty long number sentence, just like in grammar, how you can have a very short sentence, like Jesus wept. Or you could have a very long sentence that has every single part of speech in it multiple times. Okay, so a number sentence is the same way. All right, so let's figure out how to write a number sentence. Now, when you're writing a number sentence, you have to figure out, what operation am I using? What exactly am I doing? What am I trying to find out? Okay, so you have to listen for certain words when you're writing the problem. All right, so let's look at the top of page 396 and look at that, think it through on the side, right on the top of your CDs, which stands for compact discs. Okay, right here. Let's look at, think it through. It says the most important idea is equal groups. So I should write a division sentence. So that's what we're looking for, the most important idea. What exactly are we looking for? So sometimes you're gonna have to listen for keywords. All right. How do you write a number sentence? I'm so sorry, it's early and I haven't had coffee yet. How do you write a number sentence to solve a problem? Compact disc player. Maria's new CD player can hold 6 discs at a time. If she has 204 CDs, how many times can the player be filled without repeating a CD? Okay, so she's going to try to listen to 6 CDs at a time. Okay, so she wants to divide it into equal groups of 6 so that she's not repeating any of the CDs. Okay, so we have 204 CDs. And there's 6 spots in the CD player. Okay, that's pretty fancy. Not many people have 6 CD changers in their house anymore. I know I have one in my car, but Maria has one in her house, it looks like. All right, so we have 204 divided by 6 equals n number of times, okay? N, 204 divided by 6 equals n. That is the problem that we're trying to figure out, okay? So how do we write 204 divided by 6 as a division problem? 204 divided by 6 as a division problem. Okay, first we say to ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 2? Can't do it. How many times does 6 go into 20? 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Next step, subtraction. 20 minus 18 is 2. Compare, 2 is smaller than 6. Bring down the 4. How many times does 6 go into 24? 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. Subtract, 24 minus 24 is 0. All right, so we have no remainder. So she can fill her 6 CD changer with a different combination of CDs 34 times. That is pretty exciting. It's going to take her quite a long time to listen to all those CDs. But she can do it 34 times, okay? All right, so how do we check that? Remember, we do the opposite. So 6 times 34, if you multiply it out, equals 204. Now, what if there was a remainder? There's not this time, but what if there were a remainder? You would add it to the answer. All right, so you're going to do, for tonight, practice this is for Wednesday actually. You can do it tonight if you want to do both at the same time. Practice A odd on page 398. Okay, so just A odd, and it's using a strategy. Okay, so I will see you in a few minutes, and I look forward to it.